Fight!
Good morning, afternoon, and evening everyone. Nick here, and welcome back to the channel. Today, let's get our umbrellas and look at the next ninja to be featured on All Costumes Ranked, Rain. Named after a pretty awesome album by a prince, I'm not sure which one, but I think it's the one with the little red Corvette. Unlike many of the MK ninjas, Rain has barely appeared in the series in general, only appearing playable in 5 of the titles. It only took until the later NRS era for him to get a bunch of costumes. Basically, what I'm getting at is that he has quite a drastic makeover since appearing in MK Trilogy. So in this video, context of the character matters a bunch when ranking these. He's not really much of a ninja as we enter the NRS era, and as we enter the MK1 timeline, he's not even a ninja anymore. All other rules will still apply, such as the appearances from the games, no gear pieces, etc. Also, I am going to say that all of these costumes are good in their own way, so ranking these was extremely challenging. I'm gonna say this right now, none of Rain's designs are bad at all. As I always do with these rankings, I'll try to say something positive about each one of these costumes, even the ones that I rank low. Also, these are just my opinions and my opinions only, so let's have a fun discussion down below, okay? With that, let's get right into it and rank all 15 of Rain's costumes throughout the entire Mortal Kombat series. Unfortunately, taking the bottom spot comes from his latest outing, Mortal Kombat 1 with the Order of Darkness variants. Now, is this a bad design? No. However, with all of these costumes, this one feels most like an original character rather than Rain. That doesn't make it a bad design at all. I do like how they've retained a bit of the MK Ninja charm with the purple vest. I honestly do think his hair is a little bit too thick and ridiculous. Maybe he could have opted for like a hair tie or some toner. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with his costume at all, but there's not a whole lot to this costume that makes me want to place it any higher than here. Not a bad design at all, but this Rain design got drenched into the bottom spot. From darkness to light, things get a bit better as we look at Rain's Union of Light variants from Mortal Kombat 1. Now, starting off with the positives, I do like how the vest is retained with this design, along with the addition of gold flare to make it pop a bit more. Guess he decided to represent the Minnesota Vikings with this one. Also, my complaints with the previous design have been addressed here. His thick hair is now put into a ponytail, which is harking back to his PS2 design. Though better than the Order of Darkness look, in my opinion, still far from being my favorite Rain design. For even being the second to lowest costume in this list, it's still pretty good. Even though the Order of Darkness was the lowest, the Union of Light brightens the gloom. Finally, moving into the ninja territory by looking at the recently added MK 1995 costume in Mortal Kombat 1. Similar to what I said in All Costumes Ranked a few weeks ago for Smoke, I'm not the biggest fan of the MK 95 ninja designs. It took an already simple design, but made it more simple. Also, you're probably confused why Rain gets an MK 95 costume when he wasn't in that movie, and that's because, in this house, we forget about Annihilation. So, good move, NRS. It's a fine costume, but my least favorite iterations of the ninja version of the character. Speaking of bringing up the 90s, we're looking back at the MK2 costume for Rain in 2019's MK11. Yeah, Rain didn't actually appear in MK2, but this is another one of those what-ifs MK has been doing with the NRS era. But I will say this costume is really good. Though it's very simple and like the MK95 costume we just looked at, I do like how the purple pops a bunch with this costume. It's not too bright or vibrant, it's just perfect. With the graphics in MK11, I do like how you can see the patterns sewn into the vest. It just looks really good there. Not too much else I can really say that hasn't been said before with the other ninjas. It's just a safe, simple, and solid costume. Classics never go out of style. Number 11, and we're looking at another remake of a classic ninja style with the alternate design from Armageddon. Before writing the script for this video, this costume I completely forgot about. Looking back at it, there are a few things I can appreciate about it. It's nice it took elements from the arcade era, that being the ninja elements, and giving it more drip by adding some gold accents to it, highlighting that Prince aspect to the character. Retaining that sewn pattern on the vest is nice, and I do appreciate the gold accents from his Armageddon iteration. It was a good call to make it stand out a little bit more. Far from being a favorite, but a good remake of the classic era. Storming into the top 10 by looking at his second MK11 costume, the Son of Argus variants. MK11 is the title where they remade Rain into a truly amazing character with so much identity. Each of the variants showcase either the ninja, prince, or warrior side of the characters so well, where they all feel so unique. Of the unique sets, I find Son of Argus to be a good adaptation of the warrior part of Rain. Still remaining the purple vest from the ninja style, I do like how they change him up a bit by giving him some gold armor and a leather hood. Even though it's my least favorite of the original MK11 costumes, I still think it nails what it's set to do, make a badass warrior version of the purple ninja, one that'll rain his victory on those who oppose him. Jumping ahead into the next MK11 costume, this being the Weathered by Kombat variants. Let me just say this, what an amazing way to make an amazing badass approach to him being a prince. Being an Edenian, which was inspired by North African and Persian cultures, this is really highlighted here with the beautiful crown, armor pieces, and the inspired print into his costume. For real, this just looks so good. Now with these liberties, it does make him come off more like an original character than a variant for Rain, similar to Order of Darkness, but it's still going for a totally unique approach, and I think it nails it. It fits Rain as he's a prince, maybe not the prince you'd see on Alphabet Street, but one that would provide a bloody good time. We're jumping into the newest timeline by looking at his base design from this title, the New Era variant. I know what many of you are about to say, really? This one looks so weird and off and nothing like Rain at all, what are you talking about? To that I say, context. This isn't the demigod or prince we're familiar with, as this one now is a high mage born with incredible aptitude for water magic. It would be unfair to judge two totally different interpretations of the character. Even though it's a completely different take, I still recognize this as Rain, even much so when he was revealed last summer, I still knew it was him. Something that Rainwaves brought up in this costume is the patterns and simplicity that make it so effective. The Persian and North African inspirations are found all over this design with the cape, patterns, and blends of color. Seriously, whoever's job it was designing Rain and looking at real-world cultures for inspiration, you deserve a raise as you did an amazing job. It's very simple too, no unnecessary leather armor pieces as he's meant to fight with magic, and it really wouldn't make sense for him to be all bulked out with leather armor like a warrior. Though the mask is still an interesting inclusion with this mage rework, it still suits him really well. And also a side note, anyone else think that New Era Rain looks like BoozyTube? Anyway, what a great way to redesign a legacy character. Just absolutely magical. And just like that, we're wrapping up Mortal Kombat 1 with the chaotic redesign, the Emperor Rain variants. Now, I'm not gonna spoil any story details here, but it's also Chaos Rain, so do any of you really care that much? Anyway, I do really like how they mirror another timeline of Rain and mix it with the New Era. Instead of him being a prince, he's now above that and he is an emperor. Now, he does look like the Master Wizard of Outworld, like a watery Dumbledore, and with this Emperor title, I do like how they gave him all of these charms and stuff like that makes him look more sorcerer-like. But my favorite addition are the blue tattoos glowing all over his body. They just look absolutely wonderful. Though faded, I do like how the purple colors are still there, once again keeping that traditional Rain element alive. Man, talk about a giant risk NRS took with this, but this costume is absolutely solid, something I mentioned in my Chaos Reigns review. A big risk, but this costume is just totally wizard. After all of this time, we're finally taking a look at where it all started, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, or hardcore fans who were trolled by Ed Boon in the arcades, UMK3 because of that Attract video. But we're back looking at the superhero-y ninjas from the arcade era, and might I say, this may be one of my favorite in terms of the classics. It's not highlighter bright like Scorpion, Sub-Zero, or Reptile, and it's not bland like the Smoke design. It just has the right level of purple saturation to pop, but not too bright to be distracting. Being the first formal introduction, it's a good first impression. Not much else I can really say about this one, it just nails it. Also, it was a wonderful treat to see this make its return in Mortal Kombat 1. We're finally entering the top 5 by looking at MKX's story mode as Rain makes a brief appearance in there. This game also did something unique by making him a blend of a prince and role of NPN, or non-playable ninja. I've complained a bunch about MKX's desaturation to their colors, but I think Rain, oddly enough, really shines after the storm. No pun intended, look at that gold. The purple looks really pretty and royal, and I do like that gold crown and crest on his chest. Also, an interesting take removing his shirt kinda gives me some Magic Mike vibes here. It's a remake of his Armageddon design, but takes some liberties by showing off more of his muscle. Overall, it's a solid Rain design and another reminder of how sad I was when he never made it to the playable roster. And speaking of mentioning Armageddon, number 4, and we're looking at his only PS2 playable appearance in MK Armageddon. Now this is an amazing readaptation of the character. Rather than just making him just a ninja, they pushed the prince aspect in there slightly just to make him stand out against the other ninjas, and they succeeded with that. He's the only one with a short cape, he's wearing a crown with his hair sticking out instead of a traditional MK hood, and I do like how they retained his MK ninja vest in this design. Honestly, I'm surprised this one never came back in a future title where he was playable. I mean, come on NRS, it's so good, just do it, it's free money, I know you guys need it. Of the Prince-inspired designs for Rain, this one takes that crown. We're pouring into the top 3 by looking at his third playable appearance from Mortal Kombat 9. His base design just slaps. Just talk about an amazing way to reboot the ninja look for this character. He just has so much identity and stands out against the rest of the roster, not just the ninjas. I love how he's dressed all stealthy but has some light armor on him. Another fun detail about this design is that his mask is not fully clipped to his hood. When moving, it actually flows and you can get a little glimpse of his face here and there. I also dig the gold and bright purple accents on this suit, giving it an amazing pattern that just really pops. Now it's a real shame that this was never reintroduced in MK11 or MK1. I'd love to see it get some love and make a return. This amazing redesign just makes a real splash. Our runner-up comes from his final DLC appearance in the series, MK11, with the Hidden Argus variants. Man, if you really wanted to see a stealthy take of Rain, here you go. This is probably the best way that they've done it. This one's more decked out and he looks more modern and stealthy. I do love how he has like a bulkier hood similar to Scorpion from MK11, and I even liked some of the weird techno armor that he has. It kind of reminds me of something from Wakanda. This design fully covers him head to toe, with the only exposure being his eyes. Or if you wanted to change the variation, you could put the mask on that covers his face, really making him a shadow. Honestly, I wish some of the ninjas went with some approach like this, like especially the ones that rely on shadows and stealth. Maybe something like Smoke, that would have been awesome. Now it's also another real shame that this was limited to just MK11. This one cooked so much that it was like the best meal that we've got. Absolutely one of my favorite ninja redesigns of any of the characters, in terms of it going for exclusively ninja and that stealth approach. Though this one is titled Hidden, it truly stands out for being one of the best Rain designs, easily nabbing the silver medal. But coming in at number 1 comes from Mortal Kombat 11, being the Perfect Storm variant. Now, why is it called Perfect Storm? Well, it's because it's the best Rain design, that's why. Now, remember what I mentioned about the whole warrior, ninja, and prince aspect of the Rain character that many of them do go for? Well, this one blends all 3 of them, and I think it does it perfectly. You get to showcase Rain with the warrior aspect, having his guitar on his hand, with some armor in there, light armor, because it's more of a warrior and ninja hybrid there, and where I feel that prince aspect gets showcased here is with all that vibrant color you see in there. Once again, the prince highlighting the North African and Persian culture very well. There's the perfect blend of purple, gold, and black in this one, and I absolutely love it. The core colors of Rain. Honestly, this is definitive Rain. From all of the aspects covering the ninja parts, the warrior, the prince, the colors, put that all together and you get a wonderful treat. Perfect Storm is the best Rain design of all time. So there you have my ranking of every single Rain design ranked from worst to best. Tell me down below, which Rain design do you like the most, along with which interpretation was your favorite. Personally, I loved the NRS era of the character, as I feel they were able to fully flush out that character. Also, one of my close YouTube friends, the Uncommon Oddity, posted a video covering the exact same thing, ranking all of Rain's costumes from worst to best. I've been meaning to check out that video, and I am interested to see where we agree and disagree on these rankings. I'll leave a card to his video up above. You should totally check out his content. Now heads up, if any of our rankings and costumes do align, it's just a major coincidence. Heads up. Also, love your stuff, keep it up on Commonodity. We're at the end of the year and we've got ourselves one more installment of All Costumes Ranked coming your way. Along with that, the Game Awards are only a few days away and I'm planning on getting a live stream watch party going for that, so stay tuned for some updates there. And as we move into 2025, get ready for the return of All Finishers Ranked. I have a fun thing coming up with those. Be sure to subscribe and follow my social channels to be up to date on any news. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like and share. Your support truly means a ton and I can't thank you all enough. As always, thank you so much for your continuous support. My name is Nick, and you all have a wonderful rest of your day.
Fight!